Hi everyone, so I am up about 16.35% this year, so not too bad. The S&P is up about 2% at the time of this recording at least. And I just want to go over every single trade that I've done, show the reason for the entry, the exit. I think that's quite interesting. And just overall, going to talk about why I haven't traded in March and haven't traded basically up until April 13. And let's get right into it. Oh, also I do have a new position that I just opened on natural gas, so I'll go over that as well. So nothing too crazy. I've had total of 8 trades. Now I'm on the 9th trade, total of 5 months. So each month was basically a win. And I forgot actually to put the margin requirements here. It's about currently 24% use of the account. And also just to kind of give you, to show you proof, this is a statement as of the end of May, being up 16.35% and all the trades. So let's break down each and single trade. I think it's really interesting over here. I do post all my trades on the private Discord. So if you want to join, let me know. I'll be happy to have you there. Now the first trade of the year was actually 2 trades. I opened them Jan 12th and January 23rd. It was ZL and ZW, so 2 of the grains. One of them I closed for 43% profit, the other one for 5% profit. Now, why did I open this position? So this is the ZL position. So the CVOL was really, really good. Stop losses are also really good. And I looked at 103 days to expiration. Now I opened this position because the WSAD report came out. So this is right where this massive candle appeared, and the report said that basically the exports from 2024 were not as good as they expected, which really has no implications over the supply and demand going forward, or no major one. So I decided it's a good position to opened it, and profited quite a bit pretty quickly. It's been on trade for 17 days, so it wasn't too bad at all. Now I did exit early, so I exited at the end of the month, and basically the trade profited pretty quickly. And then the Trump, we all know that Trump got into office that time, and Trump might impose some tariffs on Canada and Mexico, which can influence the price of ZL as Canada exports it as well. So I decided to be safe than sorry, and this is a theme that you will see here continuously. Now this position, I opened it right over here. So the main reason I opened it is CVOL was relatively high, and basically no fundamental issues, and range to the stop loss was pretty good. Now I closed it for only 5% profit because I closed it again at the end of the month, right before the beginning of the new month, because Trump might impose tariffs on Canada. Now Trump ended up imposing tariffs on Canada, and nothing really happened with this position. It ended up going and profiting pretty nicely. The same with this one. It hit the profit target, but it is what it is. I mean, I'm always going to be better safe than sorry, and you'll see how in just a few more trades that actually saved me completely from just being in a bad situation. So now we have 3 trades in February. So 2 trades were opened on February 3rd on crude oil and silver. These 2 trades were opened basically because the range was pretty good, and the Canada-US came to an agreement. So the tariffs were paused for 30 days. So as soon as Trump announced the tariffs will be paused, I opened a position. Now I closed the position early, again for the same exact reason, because Trump said he imposed the tariffs back on Canada and Mexico. He might not on March 3rd. So I exited everything. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. So this is crude oil, and this is why I exited this position. And same exact reason for me to exit this position as well. For the entry, again, it's pretty simple. Was a pretty good range for the stops, and we had a pretty good credit and pretty good position overall. But again, I had to close it right before the end of February. Now, same thing with ZW as well. This one was a bit more profitable than the previous ZW. I just closed it right before the beginning of March because of the possible tariffs, and silver was relatively high, and there was no major news on the World Agriculture Supply and Demand estimates, which is the report that comes once a month for all the grains basically and the meats, which is a pretty important report. It can really move the price, and there was nothing. Range was really good. So, if you have such a good range and price moving sideways, somewhat sideways, I entered the position. But here I also exited. Now, from that point, I haven't traded in March at all because tariffs were still in effect. And even then, these positions, all of them went up to profit fully. There was absolutely no problem with them. So it's been basically 2 times, and tariffs did not affect these positions. But I still exited them early because of the concern that something might be affected. Now, the next trade I opened was only in April 13, once Trump paused the tariffs for 90 days. And these ones worked pretty well. So silver got to 45% profit in like 3 days, which is really quickly. So I decided to close the position. So this is the silver position. You can see the range was absolutely insane. Volatility dropped very quickly. So I took the profits off the table really quickly. There was no point for me to stay in the position any longer. Now, for natural gas, we were nearing the end of the month. It's also a rule of thumb of mine is I don't really want to keep position or keep positions past the from the end of one month into the beginning of the next. Usually volatility falls towards the end of the month and then increases at the beginning of the month. It's a pretty kind of common thing that usually happens with commodities. So I didn't want to stay in a position. Also, it profited somewhat okay within 10 days, 22%. And there was a period of 3 days where there was a really, really weird behavior where the price was kind of behaving pretty weirdly. And volatility was just kind of kept going up. So I decided again to be safe than sorry, close the position. And this position also ended up profiting quite nicely at the end of the day. And I'm completely fine with it, right? I'm me being very, very cautious. And because I'm that cautious, I did not get, nothing happened to me on April 3rd, where really, you see here, April 4th here. So really any commodity, anything really just kind of dropped really, really strong. So this is right here. And if we would have had a position on that time, it would have been pretty bad, right? So for me, I wanted to be safe than sorry, like I'm always am. And yeah, sometimes I don't make as much money as I'm supposed to, but at the same time, I don't have any losses or massive account fluctuations, right? Which is really important for me. Now, this leads us. I think this is. See here. I think I've missed a position. Did I? No. Okay. So this is the last position. This is in May. This position had a profit target of 30%. It made about 4.8% on the account, so it paid quite a big return on the account. And this position, which is this last one over here, it was a low DT, a low delta high DT strangle, and it kind of acted beautifully, even though we did have some turbulence during the position, but the strikes are so far out, which there's really no issues. We were expected to be in the position for, I believe, less than 20 days. There we go. And we were in a position for 19 days. So it worked out beautifully. We exited the position just in 19 days. And for the rest of May, I think we closed it on May 19. And so from May 19 to the end of May, we had no position. So it was pretty nice to just kind of see everything kind of goes around up and down. But us having generally a really good month. Now, the current position is also a natural gas position, And currently it's, let me tell you how up or down this position currently is. So this position is currently, it's down. Let me see how down it is. We opened when the price was all the way down. The position is down about 12% currently, so nothing too big of a deal. When we opened, or actually down 11% now. When we opened the position, we opened it with a bit of a bid and ask spread, so it was down 5% to begin with, right? So technically we're down about 6-7% since the moment we opened the position, but obviously the total position is down about the 11%. So it's just the beginning. Nothing too crazy is happening for now, but we are expected to be in this position. Let's see here, for probably less than 14 days, give or take. Yeah, there we go. So and the profit target is 50% on this one. It's a lower DTE position, and I entered it because the temperatures in June are predicted to not be as hot as expected initially, and overall natural gas has been just stable across all of the geopolitical non-stability, let's call it this way. But at the same time, it has been somewhat volatile in its own way, but nothing crazy. These are our strikes, so we're really, really, really far out. The delta is pretty neutral in the position. I think the position is currently about delta 7. Theta is massive, so not too worried about this position. And this is definitely the best position that I could possibly find right now. Copper is pretty crazy, not sure what's going on there. And silver is obviously, it's been climbing up, and it's getting out of its own range. As we know, commodities, all the risk is to the upside, actually, not to the downside. So this, for me, would have been a pretty easy position, especially heading into the summertime. And again, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to trade with me, copy trade me, learn exactly how I do what, you can definitely email me with my email address below in the description, and we can talk about that. But overall, thank you so much, and I will catch you in the next one.